merry readers, come cozy in. Let the story time begin with Robin and the Merries.
Hi Merry Readers, today is October 5th and that means it is time for chapters 15 and 16. As I've done in the past, I will make two separate videos, so this is the video for 15. If you're just tuning in for the first time and you haven't read up to chapter 15 in A Discovery of Witches, please feel free to pause this video, save it for later, and come back once you have finished. Otherwise, we will dive right in. Again, this is my A Discovery of Witches real-time reread series, and I have all of the chapters from 1 through 14 already live, and today we will have 15 and 16 as well. So I hope you enjoy. They are live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So go ahead and watch anywhere that you feel most comfortable. And with that, we will dive into chapter 15. So this chapter starts with a description of autumn dawn is still and rose golden as Diana rows through bands of fog and sunshine. Matthew is waiting when she is done, wrapped in a vintage New College scarf that he remarks he probably bought in 1920. After a hearty cafe breakfast, seeing Mary and Steph, and having the usual, Diana heads to Duke Humfrey's with a plan to recall Ashmole 782. Knox lurks in the Selden end and immediately pushes at her mind. Matthew blocks him and the room bristles. Witch versus vampire with humans watching. Diana submits the request. Hours pass. A demon, Timothy, mismatched eyes and boots, checks in. Creatures circle, nerves fray. When the slip finally comes back, the verdict detonates. Missing. Mr. Johnson insists Ashmole 782 has been missing since 1859. No microfilm, no record. Diana protests. She saw it weeks ago. The creatures peel away to regroup. Matthew hustles her out before Knox can escalate in public. At All Souls, tempers flare. Matthew orders her to Woodstock for safety. Diana fires back. Alchemy is allegory. Maybe the book is just a book. He counters. Creation myths equal biology and code. Creatures will read between the lines. The argument spikes. The blue-green sparks erupt from Diana's fingertips, smelling electrical. They fade. Both realize anger triggers her power. Matthew presses. Is he only about the manuscript? She admits that Sarah and Em planted that fear. He gently, possessively disproves it. He insists on Woodstock. They detour to New College so she can pack. In her rooms, the mail includes a brown, unstamped envelope. On the top it says, "Remember." Inside are colored photographs of her parents' butchered bodies from 1983. The panic attack is immediate. Fred and Matthew burst in. Matthew handles everything: bathroom, pulse, bed, water, and a sedative he's carried since learning about her adrenaline spikes. She shakes, sobs, and anchors to him, an inner chain that drops to the dark and locks her to the vampire. He promises to protect her. She sleeps against him. His phone buzzes unimportantly. Try to rest. You aren't alone anymore. So this chapter, the setting is the river at dawn, then Duke Humfrey's reading room, the All Souls room, and the New College flat. Characters in this, it's Diana, it's Matthew, it's Peter Knox, of course, it's Sean and Mr. Johnson, Timothy the demon, and Fred the porter. The historical and academic Easter eggs of this, it's the New College scarf, which is a post-Great War living archive that Matthew has in his wardrobe. The Bodleian process, slips, cages, supervisors, and the ritualized scholars of the library. And then it's 1859, again, the same year as Darwin's origin, neatly rhyming with Matthew's earlier Darwin and alchemy links. Magic watch, we have psychic intrusions, Knox's voice in her skull because he does try to speak to her, and Matthew quickly pulls her away from him. Uncontrolled witchfire, blue-green sparks, and electric scent triggered by anger. Power surfacing as reflex. Anchoring, the metaphysical chain binding witch to vampire. Consentful, stabilizing, and dangerous that Diana needs to link herself to Matthew during her panic attack. The mood and tone, it's dawn serenity, then to library dread, and then domestic volatility, traumatic collapse, and then quietly held in safety. Symbols and details, we have envelopes and locks, boundaries breached, we have the missing since 1859, then we have the chain of belonging and protection. Romance watch, Matthew body blocks Knox when he's trying to speak to Diana in her head. grips her hand in public, steadies her pulse, and cocoons her to sleep. So it's not really romantic, but it's just this fierce protectiveness and safety that Matthew provides. Food and drink corner, post row full English breakfast, and then we of course later have the water and sedative. Overall vibe and chapter strength, we have plot keystone, we have the public declaration, private power, and trauma that reorients the stakes, and then of course we have just, this is a very turning point chapter because Diana thought that she would very easily be able to recall Ashmole 782, and it becomes clear immediately that that's not the case, and that's very frustrating for her. And then her mind is violated by Peter Knox again, and then of course she is unexpectedly confronted with her parents' mangled bodies, which is very traumatic for anyone to go through, which sends her into this panic. So this chapter is just kind of set at a breakneck speed compared to some of the other ones where you just feel like you're hurtling along with Diana through all of these different motions. The foreshadowing in this chapter, we have the electrical witchfire, which we learned ignites when Diana is angry, and I think that that will become more of an issue as we go on throughout the book. Missing Ashmole 782 since 1859, and this timestamp keeps coming around of 1859, and the links to Darwin and alchemy thread. And then there's the chain metaphor, which marks a point of no return in Matthew and Diana's bond. So my discussion question for you for this chapter is, Ashmole 782 is missing since 1859, yet Diana summoned it once. Do you read this as an institutional failure, a magical concealment, or the book choosing its reader? What changes if Ashmole is an agent, not an object? And why do we think Diana was able to summon it once before? So I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this, and of course, as soon as you finish this video, chapter 16 is already live, so feel free to hop right over to that or save it for a little bit later, whatever you feel is best for you, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts soon. See you over there. Bye!
So many readers, close your eyes. Let the stories lift and rise. Till next time, when lights will gleam, we're bright.